It's a blessing to welcome on one of the top players in 2022. A guy's come back from ACL injury and expect to come back stronger than ever. Jalen Washington, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. Well, I mean, let's just kind of get into this. This has been a long journey for you. You're part of 2022, but a lot of people label you as maybe the mystery man, a guy that has a lot of potential. We've seen a lot of big things. We've gone through a pretty rocky start to high school in terms of injuries. Heading to junior year now, man, how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm healthy. I'm just really excited to get back on the court and play the season.
And as I said, it's been a rocky first 2 years now. Your freshman year, played a few games, hurt your shoulder, came back for a couple games in the end, then your ACL injury. But I want to start off with that freshman year. What was that first shoulder injury like, and how was that rehab process?
Um, Really, it was pretty much the same as the ACL injury. It was actually a shock because it was a bigger shock because it was my first injury really, and it was just after the first game, so I was really disappointed. But I was really, I was really just like able to stay up and stay positive, just stay positive because I just prayed a lot, talked to my family, and talked to my teammates, and they just let me know that they're in my corner.
Coming into high school alone as an elite top guy in your class, but it's not easy coming into high school. Learn that way of playing basketball. For you to deal with an injury only your second game, how much of a shock was that to you?
It was definitely a huge shock because I didn't think it was gonna happen. Nobody really thinks they're gonna go out and just get hurt in like the first game. So um, it was just a huge shock really, and but I felt like I was able to get through it because I was focused. And I was like, I'm just gonna stay positive until I can get released and get back on the court again.
You were able to return in the end of the season. I think you ended up playing 6 or 7 games total that year, averaged 12 and 8. What did it feel like to get back on the court that first time?
I was incredibly happy. I was still happy, like sitting on the sideline cheering for my teammates. So I definitely had once you have something when you get something back once you it's been gone for a while you have a greater appreciation for it. So I was just wanting to go hard and do everything I could.
There's a certain aspect that guys that go through an injury that have to sit out extensive times talk about, and that's that you sit back. You kind of learn the game from another angle. It's not playing it, but you almost learn from a coaching perspective. You get to learn more, get your IQ up higher. How much would you say you benefit on that aspect from the injuries?
Oh, a whole lot. I really got to understand like the game was it came slower to me by watching from the sideline. Now it's not always the same. Really, just uh, being in the heat and the spotlight and playing than
Mhm.
it is like from the sideline. But I really got to understand what the coaches see and what they want me to see from their perspective.
Following that comeback, you get into AAU. That really was your breakout time. People started seeing who you were. ESPN put you, I believe, at number 7 to start it off. What was that first coming out party like? What was like kind of getting that attention and starting to get the spotlight on you?
Really, I don't really try. I'm not too big on social media.
Mhm.
I feel like that's actually perfect for me because I'm just like the type of guy that just likes to put his head down and keep working. I'm not really a huge social media guy. I don't really like all the attention like that. But it was great that I was getting some attention for working so hard and performing well.
Coming with that, people from the outside might look at that as a positive, as cool. But from the player perspective, starting to get colleges looking at you at a young age, starting to get that target on your back isn't always easy. How'd you get accustomed to that?
Really just talking to my coaches and under having an understanding that people are going to come at me, and that people they want to make a name off of you by coming at you and saying that they locked you up or they did something to you or stopped you. So really just understanding that and learning how to approach it as well. Knowing that you don't have to um, always come at them with a certain energy. You can just be yourself.
As you're continuing through the AAU season, then you get up to Team USA, you get that invite, and that's really the big moment that people started saying, Jalen Washington, this guy's legit. He's a top player in the country. You're doing your things against some of the top guys in that 2020 class, 2021 group. What was that experience like, and what was it like going to Team USA?
USA was really fun. I already had an AAU teammate there with me, AJ Casey. So it didn't feel too unfamiliar as long as he was there with me and made some friends there, and really just wanted to go hard every time because I knew how important it was, and it was actually fun. It was really I had a great experience at USA.
True competitors that want to play basketball for the rest of their life, love that competitive drive. And you being a younger guy, you got to learn though from these guys that are established, going to college in a year or so, 2 or 3 years older than you. How much did that prepare you then for the future of your career?
It gave me a boost of confidence from coming back home, knowing that I competed with these guys of high caliber, and it just made me realize that I can compete with them as well.
I mentioned that was your breakout time right then. More college started looking at you, and you even got an invite back to it. We'll get into the injury in a little bit, but just knowing that you played that well and they wanted you to come back, what did that mean to you?
It meant a lot. It meant that my hard work was actually getting somewhere, and it motivated me to keep working hard.
In that first experience, who were the guys you like going up against?
There's a lot. I can't really pretty much everybody who was there. I know I played against probably like Paolo Banchero a couple of times at the camp. There was a lot of other bigs there. Jabari Smith, Pat Baldwin was there. There's a lot of other bigs and other players that were there. There's a lot of great players.
We've seen now because of social media, and AAU has a big part in this as well, but USA is a place where you meet a lot of guys from other states across the country that could eventually lead to college team ups or even high school team ups. But you personally, were there guys that you met at USA camp that you didn't know before really well, but you walked away pretty good friends with?
Yeah, I'd probably say Greg Glenn, Noah Bachelor. Those some guys I'm cool with. The Henderson twins. Um, I really talk. I'm not like the biggest, most sociable guy out there. Those are a couple of the guys that I talked to. And obviously, AJ is one of the guys that I've known for a while. So those are some guys that I've made new relationships with from USA.
In terms of recruiting aspect, are those guys that if offers align, if the opportunity align, could you see yourself potentially playing with those kind of guys?
Yeah, they're all high caliber guys. Really great work ethics, talented players. I'm not sure what offers they have. I don't look at all their offers or and compare them to mine, but I'm sure if we ever had some of the same offers, I would look uh, into playing with them.
Absolutely. Well, you go through this time and people know more and more about you, and you're preparing now for your sophomore season with the hopes of it being a full year for you. But you do tear your ACL. Take us to that first time when you first started feeling the knee injury. When do you think and how did the ACL happen?
It was in practice, and I was kind of just going through a move. Like I just felt like my knee kind of popped. It kind of gave out, and it was just really a shock because I didn't really know what it was. I didn't really the ACL injury wasn't the first thing that popped into my mind. So when I later got an MRI and the results came back, it was just really a huge shock, and it was a big disappointment that I wouldn't be able to play for that season, especially because I was just previously injured.
Some guys tear their ACL and they're in instant pain, that they're on the ground in pain. Some guys will even come back and play a little bit. You just feel like maybe a sprain, maybe a bruise or something. How painful was it when it first happened for you?
It was probably top five pains I've ever felt before. It's got to be number one. But couldn't really extend my leg when once I had felt it, and I had to like kind of breathe for a second, and then I could straighten up, and I actually walked on it a little bit.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's definitely not something that you want to experience.
Now, did you work out again after the injury, or did you wait till the MRI to go and see what happened?
Um, I don't think I ended up working out. I took a couple of weeks off just because I wasn't able to like run and jump and stuff.
And you go through the MRI, you get the results back, and we talked about earlier, you've already missed almost an entire season of basketball. You're coming back into your full form. What was your reaction to when you heard you did tear your ACL?
Um, at that point, I think I was already thinking like it was gonna be kind of bad, but my coaches and my family they told me to kind of stay prayed up and to stay positive. So I wasn't fully thinking that it was gonna be injured. I was thinking it wasn't gonna be as bad. But when I got the results, I was kind of prepared for it still, and I was like I was disappointed, but I was still staying positive.
I know you're a believer, and that's why I want to talk a little about God right now. And we know that at times like this, when you're on your low and you go through a thing that you know They're not going to be playing the thing you love for probably another 7 to 10, 12 months. How did your relationship grow and how much did you start trusting in God, knowing that you had a long journey ahead of you?
It just really made me grateful for the things that I had up to that point and what will come, knowing that it will come back. Really, just when I pray, I just thank God for like everything He's given me, all the people He's put in my life, and to just give me give me clarity of thought and peace of mind, and know that I can get through the situation, no matter how big or small it is.
Gary Westside is a school that people expectations being the number one team. Prior to your injury, you guys add in a big transfer then, Sean, which also tears his ACL then. Having these injuries, how special can you guys be this upcoming year that you guys will all 100% now?
I feel like we can be as good as we work for. Really, as
Mhm.
hard as we work in on our bodies and on our game and in our mind, and just improve as individuals and as a team. I feel like we can be as good as ever. We can be a great team.
How do you guys help each other with the same injury?
Really just texting each other when we see each other at school, just keeping a smile on each other's faces. We never really we never really were too down about it. Krishan's a really positive guy, great guy to be around. And we just sharing the same experience, sharing information, like how'd you get through this? And it was just great. It was great to have a shoulder to lean on and be a shoulder to lean on for somebody else.
And you're still pretty young. You could get into the recruiting process. It's going to start heating up, especially once this COVID stuff's pulled down. You guys can go on visits again. You have a lot of offers on the table, though. Who are you consistently talking to right now, though?
Really all the schools that are recruiting me: IU, Purdue, Michigan State, Stanford, UCLA. Um, there's a lot more schools other than that. I don't want to forget any school, but there's really all the schools that have reached out. They've been in constant contact.
Some schools, when a guy goes to an injury, especially an ACL, Achilles, something like that, they might drop off. They might stop talking to you. Were there any schools that you found started talking to you less or completely dropped off?
Um, no, not really. There were probably a few schools that reached out on like the first open
Yeah.
call period. There were only a few schools that like stopped talking after that day or after that week, but majority of the schools they stayed pretty consistent.
You had a few early on offers. Maryland was one of the first ones, Alabama, Purdue, Indiana, Nebraska. Some of those were the early offers you got from the early in your career. The fact that they stayed with you through the injuries, through everything you've gone through only playing a few games of high school, how significant is that to you when it comes time for making a decision long term?
That means a lot, really. I want to add Louisville as well. Louisville
Mm-hmm.
State in contact too. That means a lot knowing that they don't just care about you when you're well and healthy and playing well, but also when you're injured, and know that they care about you as a person and as a player.
Let's go into some of these schools real quick. Maryland, the program that has really been on the uprise. They used to always just be a good team. Coach Turgeon's been able to take a lot of underrated guys, but the past couple of years, Jalen Smith, top 5 star kind of player. This past year, Julian Reese, a lot of the just top Ike Cornish, a lot of top ranked players. He's starting to be able to pull in these top 100, top 20 kind of guys. How much more appealing does that make Maryland to you?
Uh, Definitely knowing that they can have those good players, those highly touted players, and come through and do well in their system and in their program means a lot. It knows that it means to me that that's a program that I can look out for. Definitely watch and see if they're a good fit for me.
Guys that have commit there, say Coach Turgeon's more of a laid back guy. He's not all in your face, not high energy, just more of a cool, calm, collected coach. Is that a kind of coach that you like, or what kind of is the dream kind of attitude and kind of emotions of a coach for you?
Um, you know, whatever the coach is, I'm not too much concerned about their personality because
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've been with so many different coaches in my short career that I'll be able to adapt to whatever coach because I've dealt with coaches that get loud and in your face and coaches that are like calmly assess the situation. So I think it's more about the fit for me instead of their personality.
What school so far was the most shocking one when they called you? What was the school that you're kind of like, wow, I just talked to them?
Uh, all of them. I can't, man.
Mhm.
I can't really put my finger on just one, but all of them, like Louisville, IU, Purdue, all of the schools, Michigan State, they had South Carolina. I've had great talks with all of them.
Let's talk about Indiana. That's a hometown place, and there's that certain kind of pride. A lot of guys love the idea of staying home, representing their hometown, and putting up the school that most likely the family, the friends are all from, support, can go watch you. What would it be like being that hometown hero?
Um, that would be great just to have my family. I do have family still in Indiana, just for them to be able to come to see some of the games. That's really the biggest thing about being hometown here is just having your family be able to have easy access to the games.
Perusing that same story as well, is staying home something that you'd like? Is that something that you'd prefer possibly staying close to home, or does location not matter to you?
Location doesn't really matter. I feel like again, it's more about the how I fit into their system and how I like the program and how I like the school, uh, the social environment, really. But Purdue's a great school. They're a great school. It would be nice. It would be nice to stay home, but it doesn't really matter to me how close or far the school is.
You mentioned your fit into a program. What is that for you? Do you want to run the power forward, small forward, some stretch center? Where do you want to fit into a program?
Really where I'm needed and where I'm most effective. I feel like that's being versatile enough to shoot the ball from the three and being able to post up any mismatch. So any school that feels like they can utilize my ability in that way, I feel like that would be a good school for me.
Louisville's been turning up recruiting aspect recently. They have a lot of top guys going there as well. Well, what do you like about Coach Mack and their coaching staff?
And they're our first Zoom call. We had a great Zoom call with them. They really went into detail about like they showed us their playing style, they showed us some stats, they showed us what they do with their fours, and they showed how I fit into their system, and I felt like it was a great call.
Whoever's being recruited right now is going through virtual visits right now, through Zoom, through the call. What's your take on that? Do you like that?
Yeah, I like how the colleges were able to adapt to the
Mhm.
situation. I still think it would be great to be able to travel and go see different campuses and just have that experience.
You still do have a couple of years till you have to make a decision, but time is creeping up now. You're heading into junior year, and it's going to start really getting heavy in the recruiting process. How do you plan to start narrowing down these schools? Like, what are you looking for, and how do you plan to eventually make your group that you really want to look at seriously?
Just really talking to my coaches and my parents, constantly just getting a feel for how they feel, what they think about it, and just really organizing, like having some mental organization about what I think about the school. Um, yeah, taking all in the pros and the cons, really, and just seeing whose pros outweighs whose and who has more positive than negative, really, and who has the best fit for me.
Is there kind of timeline you have set for that?
Um, No, I don't really have a. I'm just taking it. I really just want to get through the season,
Hmm.
to give myself some more options and actually get looked at by the schools so they can get a better feel for me. And then I'll just we're just really playing it by ear, however I feel.
Well, let's get into the season. I know it's a big time thing for you. You're about a week and a half, if not even less than that, kickoff for the season. What's going through your mind? How excited you get back on the court and play real games again?
Um, Really just getting the reps in right now, getting the feel back for the game. Um, yeah, just improving my game shape, just sprinting up and down the court every time I get the chance, going pretty hard, but still playing smart so I don't get hurt again.
Now you've been practicing for a couple of weeks with the school again. Are you back to like playing full on 5-on-5 contact?
Yeah, yeah.
Now playing that, I know some guys that go through injuries, sometimes a little bit hesitant, have to get back and used to trusting your knee again. Have you started to work through that? And have you how confident do you feel in your knee right now?
I'm pretty confident in it. I understand that I do have to be careful, but then I
Mhm.
do know that I can't be scary. I know that I've put in a lot of work in rehab, and I know that that means that obviously means a lot. I've gotten stronger, so it's a mix of both being careful but still being confident.
You're a guy who mentioned a top 10 player in the country. You You got a lot of big pieces now. I think 4 or 5 Division I players on your roster. One of the favorites to win state. How do you plan to be able to achieve the ultimate goal?
Just being a great teammate, being a leader. I know I have to step up and be a leader, vocally, and by action, and just make sure I'm playing my role to the best of my ability. I feel like that's just being able to do the controllables with everything I can control, and I feel like everything will fall into place.
I believe you've now tacked on about 20 to 30 pounds now of muscle. How have you adjusted the new math on your body?
Um, well, really, I picked up I picked up some weight when I was injured, and then I had to get back on the court and get back to running and lose some more weight. So I'm about like 220 now. I feel like I'm at a good weight. Just really, just I have a trainer out in Chicago. His name's Dave Carson that I work with, and he's just really been a good advisor for me, letting me know um, how my body is, where I need to improve, better ways to eat, just really all around for my body.
In about 4 or 5 months when the season wraps up, how would you say would be a successful season, both for you personally and as a team?
Obviously we want to win. We want to win. But I feel like improving definitely, getting better, getting smarter. Um, that would be definitely the biggest thing. If all else fails, we definitely need to definitely want to improve and get better as players and as a team.
Without a doubt, man. Well, a few things I was like wrapping up with. One is discussing legacy. I think all guys want to build that. So when you are done playing basketball someday, what do you ultimately want to be remembered for what you achieved both on and off the court?
On the court, being a great teammate and having a great work ethic and having a good career, and off the court, just really being able to positively affect those around me, making positive change no matter where I am, and just always giving a helping hand.
We discussed faith a little bit ago, and you are a believer. You even have dream in your bio. Discuss what that means to you and how you came up with that.
I didn't come up with it. Actually, I think I saw Marvin Bagley a
Mm-hmm.
couple of years ago. I saw it in his bio, and like when I really just think about that, you just really think like Jesus does rule everything around you. Like what, no matter what it is, like you could be in school, you could be out just doing whatever. You just know that like Jesus rules everything that's around you, and just really just praying and knowing that um, if you feel down, you can turn to him, and even if you have like a great accomplishment, just bowing your head and thanking him for everything that he's given you and he's done.
A lot of people might judge him for whatever he's done in the NBA so far, but he overall just represents God for a lot of things he does, and he's not quiet about his faith, and he's representing God and been a light at the NBA stage. How do you look to guys like him or like J.R.E.A.M, like the guys that represent faith? How do you look up to those guys and try modeling how you spread God's word at those levels?
Um, that I feel like they kind of boost my faith even more. Just seeing how strong their faith is and how strong of a believer they are. It really it's really an inspiration. That's what it is. It's really an inspiration to me.
There's a lot of turning points in faith. A lot of guys that grow up in a Christian household are kind of born into it, but at some point, usually guys kind of step away from that and go and kind of form their own relationship with God. When was that for you? When did you really start getting your own personal relationship with Him?
Um, I'll have to say probably eighth grade. The start of eighth grade is when I went to a different school, and I've seen a lot of different things. People even at a young age they have like really rough lifestyles. So really just knowing that any guy can be in any situation, whether you're sheltered or you're out there in the real world. Um, and just knowing that like I didn't want to change for anything, so I just stay prayed up every day pretty much, and ask God to give me the wisdom and the strength to stay on the right path.
Amen, man. Well, definitely appreciate you taking time to come on today. And I look forward to seeing what God got next for you. And hopefully, it will be a full on season for you to go out there and dominate.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Of course, you're always welcome on, man. God bless.
God bless.